Hello everybody, my name is Josh and welcome back to another episode of the Driveway Detailer. So about 2 weeks ago, I finally put a coating on my wife's van. So it's not like a ceramic coating, it's I put a sealant on my wife's van. So the sealant that I chose was this sealant here. I chose Soft99's Fusso Coat for light vehicles. So one thing I need to put out there is I didn't have a whole bunch of time to record, so I didn't record any of the process of the prep process that I used to wash my wife's van. So I used for the prep, I used CarPro Lift as the foam. I used CarPro Descale for the contact wash. I used CarPro Iron X for as the iron remover. I didn't do clay bar because I didn't feel like the paint needed clay because it's still a relatively new vehicle and I just didn't feel the need. I also didn't do a machine polish, mostly because I didn't have a whole bunch of time. I had one day to get this done because I did it on Memorial Day when I had some time. So I had no time to do a machine polish. So that's probably one thing I would have done. I would have given myself a little bit more time to complete the process properly, but I didn't have enough time, so it is what it is. So the one thing I will say about the application process, it did take a while because I'm one person. In order to make sure that I applied the coating properly, I made sure that I gave it all time and I only did one panel at a time. And so the instructions in Soft 99 says in like winter or summer conditions where I am now in Southern California, recording this video, it's you leave the coating on for 5 to 15 minutes. So I left it on for 5 minutes and I would remove the coating after 5 minutes. I actually set a timer for 5 minutes just to make sure that I did it right. So I found the application removal to be okay. It wasn't too bad. You had to use a little bit of elbow grease to get the coating off, but the coating came off, and at the end, I was very pleased with the result. The shine of the shine of the paint, and just the end result was fantastic. So this van is my wife's daily driver. So let's take a look at the van and see the conditions of the van before we start the wash and before I go through and test the water behavior and how the coating is sticking up is after 2 weeks. So before, you'll see here on the hood and the front grille area, that's not really too bad. You have some bug guts along the hood. We do a lot of highway driving out here, so of course with highway driving out here, you're going to get a lot of bug guts, right? But as far as dirt and stuff, you see some bug guts on the windshield. But as far as dirt and stuff, it's actually really clean. And I don't know this for sure, but I kind of contribute this to the coating. So I'd like to think, or maybe, and someone in the comments can disagree with me or tell me what the real cause is. But I think that it doesn't rain really here in Southern California. Plus, I think the coating helps to keep the vehicle cleaner. Not completely clean, but it does keep the vehicle cleaner. So you can see there isn't too much dirt. All right. So maybe you can, if I brought it up, you can see some of the specks of dirt on the paint here on the rear quarter panel and down here. This is a front wheel drive van, but still by the wheels you get all kinds of debris that comes up from the road, and that's what that is. But as far as dirt goes, there's some dirt here, but you're always going to see dirt on a black surface. But it's not really too dirty. So as far as like the coating's ability to keep a kind of clean surface, it did pretty good, I say. For this detail, we're not really, it's not a disaster detail by any means, but there's still a few problem areas that we can work on today. But for the most part, we're checking to see the performance of the coating. How did it do? So let's get to the wash and we'll test it out. So here I was rinsing off my pre-wash foam, and my first impression was how impressed I was at the hydrophobics of the coating. As you can see in the video, there's absolutely no sheeting. The water immediately beads and flies off the paint. I've been using spray-on coatings so often on my daily driver with the messed up paint, I'd gotten used to some sort of sheeting, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I thought the immediate water beading on my wife's fan was pretty cool. Here's another angle from the driver's side door, and the effect is even better because the beads of water don't stay on the paint like it would on a flat surface like the hood. It beads and then rolls down off the paint. And the beads that manage to stay on the paint are still almost perfectly round. Another thing I'm noticing about this coating is how the wash mitt glides across the paint. You don't have to put any pressure on it. It just glides like a figure skater on ice. It's the way the microfiber glides across the paint is just effortless. When I tell you I'm not putting any kind of pressure, I am just moving the pad or moving the mitt and letting the mitt do all of the work. And I think the coating on the vehicle and just how slick it is, the slickness on the paint, is what allows me to do this, to wash in this type of way. It is so nice. So here I am using my Adams Polishes air cannon to do a touchless dry on the vehicle. So if you see, look at how the water beads just fly off the paint as the air cannon does its work. So the Adams air cannon is something kind of like the Metrovac Master Blaster, but it's like half the price. So side note, if you want to pick one up, I'll leave a link in the description down below. But with this coating, you don't need to use a microfiber to dry. I'm sure if you use a leaf blower or a shop vac, it would work just as well. So my final thoughts on this video, I really like Fusso Coat by Soft99. I think it turned out great for this first wash after I applied it. The slickness was great. The beading of the water was great. The feel of the mitt on the paint as you washed was great. Everything about it was great. Now I'm excited to wash my wife's van over the coming months and year to see if it actually does last the year. But I think if you watch my previous video about the phone cannons to the end, if you watch my last video to the end, my thoughts on the Fusso Coat is similar. It's not so much about the coating. It is about the coating. It is like if you get a quality coating, it will do good things for your paint in the long run. But what's more important is the process that you take to prepare your paint for the coating. And I think for years and years, that's what I've been getting wrong, because I've tried ceramic coatings, I've tried other coatings, but this is the first time where I stopped and I took the time that Fusso needed to cure properly before I wiped it off or did anything like that. From the first panel that I worked on to the last panel, applying Fusso Coat took me about 5 hours. So I'd say the thing that you need to remember is give yourself the time to apply the coating correctly. Go through all the steps, be deliberate, and if you do, you'll be able to get the most out of any coating that you use or any coating that you put on your vehicles. So once again, my name is Josh. This has been the Driveway Detailer. If you like this video, please give this video a like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you on the next one.